Hi, this is Congresswoman Majorie Taylor Green, and I'm here to talk to you about Joe Biden's agenda that he calls Build Back Better, while honestly, America is burning down. You see, while you're suffering with inflation at gas prices going higher than they've ever been, while we have food shortages on grocery shelves, while our border is being invaded every single day, and while we just celebrated Veterans Day, leaving Americans behind in Afghanistan, arming the Taliban, and 13 of our soldiers got killed, Joe Biden is ramming through his radical communist agenda, and I'm here to tell you about a few things in it. So we just passed the infrastructure bill, which really should be called the inflation bill. It would have never been possible without 19 Republican senators led by Mitch McConnell to create the infrastructure bill in the Senate. And then we passed it in the House only because 13 Republican members of Congress handed their voting cards over to Nancy Pelosi for the big fat pork that they had for their own districts. And they voted yes with Nancy Pelosi to help Joe Biden pass his agenda. You know, the squad had more courage than them because 6 members of the squad actually voted no. But now this week we're headed into the Build Back Better Joe Biden agenda, and I'm going to tell you about a few things in it. A few. First off, let me tell you, it's going to bankrupt our economy as if we aren't headed that way already. It's going to cost $5 trillion. It's going to have $4.5 trillion in new spending, which will be massive inflation increases. $1.5 trillion in new taxes, as if they don't tax you enough, ladies and gentlemen. $3 trillion in new debt. Aren't we in debt enough already? We can't even see our way out. 2/3 of employer taxes would fall on the poor and middle class. Yeah, sounds like they're always after the poor and the middle class. And $80 billion to hire over 85,000 IRS agents to target you, Mr. and Mrs. Republican, Mr. and Mrs. Trump voter, because they want to come after you. It'll be just like Lois Lerner with the Tea Party taxes again when they went after conservatives. Now, here's what else it's going to do. It's going to pay off communist coastal elites. You know, the ones, the big tech people, the ones that love censorship, that kick you off of social media and silence your voice. Government funding for electric vehicles for rich couples and big businesses. They don't believe in the free market and they don't believe in freedom. They want to use the Build Back Better bill to force America to depend on China to just drive a car. You see, China dominates the electric vehicle battery market at over 85%. America does not compete. We are less than 10%. China also dominates the mining rights to rare earth minerals all over the world, but America barely has any. This is a disaster plan for America, our future, and our children's future. Let me tell you some more things. Let's talk about taxes. If you want an electric vehicle, if you want to depend on China to drive your car, they've got $12,500 tax subsidy for families making $500,000 or more to buy an electric vehicle. That doesn't sound like it's really aimed for the middle class or the poor. 78% of electric vehicle credits are claimed by those making $100,000 or more per year. You see, it's the rich people that like electric vehicles. $4.8 billion in electric vehicle credits for businesses to convert their electric vehicle fleet. And you've got $6 billion for colleges and universities on top of the already $76 billion that they've received over the past year, probably to implement more CRT education for your son and daughter while they're away at college. We've had enough of this. Didn't they learn from the races just a few weeks ago when there was a Republican wave because parents were sick and tired of school boards and sick and tired of CRT? Nope, they didn't learn a thing because here they come with the Build Back Better plan for America. You know what else is going to be in there? I'll let you know. What it's really going to do is going to pass AOC's Green New Deal. $450 million for job training in climate change careers. That's a lot. $150 million for species protection. $7.8 billion for environmental justice tax credit for universities to support climate change studies. $85 million to create programs to study how climate change hurts people's health, especially, and this is how they put it in the bill, pregnant individuals. They can't even put pregnant women in the Build Back Better bill. They have to call them pregnant individuals because they don't believe in gender. According to the Democrats, there's many genders, but we know there's only two, male and female. What else do you have? You've got $10 billion to convert the federal fleet to zero-emission fleet of cars. They want the government's fleet of cars to depend on China to drive. What happens when these batteries break down? They'll have to order them from China. And why is that? That's because Joe Biden is bought and paid for by China, because he and his son Hunter Biden have been doing business with the CCP for a very long time. We need to check out Hunter Biden's laptop, don't we? Really, we need to impeach Joe Biden. It also funds progressive pet projects while undermining American security. Get ready for this one. $100 billion for backdoor amnesty to give 5-year renewable visas to millions who are already here illegally. $15 million to medical care for, get this, elderly transgenders. Yes, you heard that right. Elderly transgenders. You're going to be paying $15 million for their medical care. But they didn't care about your grandmother or grandfather locked away in nursing homes, dying alone from COVID. No, Democrats don't care about that. They just want to spend $15 million on elderly transgenders. $2.5 billion for tree equity. Did you know we needed tree equity? Apparently trees, where they're planted now, it's racist. So we've got to spend $2.5 billion to make trees have equity everywhere. You can't even make this stuff up. $19 million for endangered species. Let me give you some example. Like $5 million for butterflies. I've seen lots of butterflies. $5 million for endangered plants in Hawaii. Last time I was in Hawaii, it was very green and the plants did not look endangered. $5 million for freshwater mussels. $5 million, ladies and gentlemen. That's your money. And $5 million for desert fish. Yep, this is what Democrats want to spend your money on. Here's some interesting things. In the Build Back Better bill, Joe Biden, there is no mention of the border control. Not at all. As a matter of fact, they don't want to fund the border. They don't want to build the wall. They don't want to fund Border Patrol, and they don't want to stop the illegal invasion coming to our country. As a matter of fact, Joe Biden has invited them to come, and Kamala Harris is missing in action. No mention of Afghanistan. No, they don't care about the Americans that are still stranded in Afghanistan. They don't care about all the great military equipment that Joe Biden handed over to the Taliban, and they really don't care about the families still mourning from their loved one being killed in Afghanistan. Now here's the real kicker. There's no mention of China. Zero mention of China. While China advances in nuclear technology, China advances with its military, China's advancing with its economy, China's advancing with manufacturing, China obviously is advancing with bioweapons as we're all still reeling from COVID-19. China is advancing. Joe Biden and the Democrats are missing in action because they are clueless and willing to turn their head and their other cheek to China. No mention of China in Joe Biden's Build Back Better plan. All it is a progressive wish list. It's the Green New Deal, and it's going to destroy America, rolling us into a future that is empty, especially for our kids. So share this with your friends so everyone can know the Democrats could care less about you. They don't care about how hard you work for your money and the money you pay in taxes. They just want more of it so they can control you and they can be the elites and destroy America. Thank you very much.